Hi, I'm Michelle Mackay. I'm the Education Director of a work-based learning training specialist organisation. My subject matter expertise and when I teach is creativity and innovation. That's my passion. Before Lifehack Tribe, I was on the brink of burnout. I mean, I really was lucky that I wasn't hospitalised with anything. I had a kind of 8, 9 month period at work, which was always busy, but that 8, 9 month period before Lifehack Tribe, I was working 70 up to 80 hours a week at some points. I have two young children, and I remember about a month before I joined Lifehack being away with my husband for his birthday and him saying to me, I'm really worried about you. Similarly, at the same time, my kids were saying to me, Mum, why are you always working? And I didn't like it. I wasn't that kind of person. I've always been someone who's been interested in self development. I'm a huge fan of Cal Newport. And so I was all into deep work and time blocking, but I didn't have systems and processes other than that. So I really needed something that helped me. And Lifehack came along at just the right moment for me. When I originally joined Lifehack Tribe, my focus was really on reducing the stress. That was all I really cared about. Of course, I had other kind of long-term goals that I wanted to meet, but at that point, I was so far into burnout that I really just needed to get myself out of it. I have been a member of the tribe for 3 years now, and I would say that first year was really just unpicking all of that and finding my way back to a sense of balance in my life. And Lifehack really helped me to do that. Last year, so in my third year of the tribe, I met my definite chief aim quite early, which was get into a rhythm of more strategic work. So I'd managed to reduce my hours right down, which was great, but I still wasn't being as strategic with my time. So I hit that goal quite early, managed to get onto my next goal, which was to write and publish a book. So I've always wanted to do this. And when I first joined the tribe, it was down on my kind of right at the bottom. I'd love to do this and build in space to at some point in the future, maybe write a book. It wasn't even on my vision to have written it last year, but space opened up because of all of the tools and techniques that I'd put into place. And now the Problem Paradox is out there. It was published in May, and I'm doing work on my second book at the moment. And none of that would have happened without the tools that Lifehack has given me. So I'm forever indebted to all the work that you guys do. One of the first differences that I noticed just even in year one was that my boss commented to me in our one-to-one, our annual performance review, um, how amazing she thought it was that I had started to say no to things. And actually, it was recognized as something from others that showed that my leadership was growing. I got a promotion off the back of doing things like that. So really, other people started to notice my kids they don't say anymore, why are you working all the time? Because they don't really see it. But personally, one of the biggest things that I get is just I feel in control. I'm much more happy. I am a creative person. I teach creativity, and I'd found myself really in a rut where I wasn't able to do any of that. It was just work and sleep, and everything was deteriorating. So my health has improved because I've made a focus on it. But more importantly for me, I'm filling my cup outside of work. I'm getting lots of benefits in work, but I've got the boundaries where outside of work, I'm not just trying to recover from the day job anymore. I'm actually enjoying what I'm doing, spending time with the family and getting to explore all of my passions. So for me, some of the life hack tools that really make a big difference to me is weekly pre-planning is non-negotiable for me. I live in the UK and I've got two small children, as I mentioned, and so I don't make the calls live, but I'm okay. Like I'm fine with that. I do know that that sense of community, a lot of people need it. But for me, I watch the videos every single week. So I just watch the replay and I feel like I'm part of that community without having to be physically in the room with everyone. I have only missed one maybe in year one or two, and it really didn't go well. So that's a non-negotiable for me. I do annual planning every year as well. When I can, I do monthly, but I find that when you do the annual one well and the weekly one, that is enough for me to keep going. I would say some of the things that has made the biggest difference to me, the one that I talk about all the time in my work to everyone who listen is UUW, the concept of UUW or flex time. For me, that was where I was kind of falling down between UUW and magical thinking, which I still struggle with every single week. I'm like, yeah, Michelle, is it really going to take that long to do? No, you give it extra time. But building UUW into my plan has been absolutely transformational for me. As I say, I liked time blocking already, but I really wasn't given enough time for things and I wasn't building in space for those things that come up unexpectedly. And in my work, I'm sure in many people's work, that happens all the time. So I am evangelical about that to people who aren't in tribe. Just look at what comes up every week, every day that you're not expecting, and then make that part of your planning and build in time for it. And if you do that, you can navigate most things. I've had lots of curveballs thrown at me where people have said, "Oh, well done on managing to be able to do that." And it's really because of life hacking, the UUW and things like that. The other thing when I started, the thing that made a difference was I was learning a lesson every week and I was reflecting on those lessons every week, but I wasn't really looking at it holistically as a whole. And I think about 6 or 7 months in, I started going, oh, wait a minute, UUW is creeping up a few times. I've noticed that I've not put in enough. And so I think as you do this, it takes a lot of time to get used to things. But for me, reflecting not just on a weekly basis, but on that longer period of, okay, what patterns am I noticing in my own behavior? And maybe that's where I should start to look at for future things. For anyone new to Lifehack Tribe, what I would say is that these things take time. I was so excited when I first got onto the roadmap and I went through it quite quickly, although knowing I would go back and do it, take my time over it. But I think when you join something so exciting, you're really excited for the results and you can see other people's results coming through Facebook group or whatnot. It takes time for it to become a habit. I've looked back at some of my life maps and thought, whoa, that's very rudimentary. And now I know how to make it work and how to pick the right leverage priorities and how to break things down. That took me 2 or 3 years, but I saw benefit in the method from the very beginning. But just don't expect to get as quickly as someone else is. If you're early in your journey, it does take a little bit of time to do it. Obviously, Lifehack's got lots of different parts to it and lots of different programs that they run. And in 2024, I was given a brand new team to absorb into my current team at work. And I signed up for the Catalyst program at the time with Coach Amy. I had done so much good work with Lifehack and I was in a good place. And I was really worried that this new thing was going to derail me and take me back to old habits. So I signed up for that and it really just helped me with that transition. It's just worth being mindful that there's lots of options out there. But fundamentally, take your time, get into the habits. You'll see benefits from the beginning, but also some things will compound over time and you'll start to look back and see just how far you've come.